have in this world is my balls and my word. And I don't break them for no. Do you understand?
Welcome to the Big KIZ Podcast. I'm Brian.
I'm Abu.
And this is the Big KIZ Podcast, but I already said that in the intro.
That's what I said last week. You were supposed to say, I'm big, I'm KIZ, and the Big KIZ podcast.
I know, but
Damn.
you were like, oh, just before you said the name of the podcast, you were like, I was thinking...
No, as a matter of fact, we should say, I'm big, I'm KIZ, and
yeah. But don't you... Well, big is just I'm Brian, and then KIZ is you, Abu.
Yeah, but it's not the Brian KIZ podcast, is it?
No, yeah. It's the Big KIZ. No, but I know what you're saying. It makes sense to call to like differentiate or whatever. What
do you want to say? I'm Brian Big. Oh, that's
that don't roll with
it. Right. Yeah.
So we'll leave that. No, but anyway, they'll get the idea.
Yeah, eventually.
When we have like more than a single listener. So today, I'm gonna call you out. Yeah, today you were a little late, but you told me today. What was your reasoning for this lateness?
Well, it's a number of things. Well, the first thing,
a number of things, you know. I would take to be your boss, like.
So basically, what was it? My laptop, I left it running updates last night, and I don't know. You know when you leave updates, sometimes when you switch the laptop back on.
Oh no, yeah, it does this. Yeah.
Yeah, it does its configuration. But another thing I noticed this morning, right, is like, I had like the worst back spasm ever. Like, I don't know how you feel about them, but mine was like, I was in complete pain. What it was, I think I must have sat up from my kitchen table. I just finished having breakfast, and then I've sat down back on my bed, and then I'm getting this sharp pain all over my back, like my lower back, and I'm like, what is happening? And it's like, I stand up and it's just not going. I'm literally in pain, wincing, like, I don't know what to do, bro. Like, I'm like, what's happening to me? And then I'm like, and I'm a young guy. It's not like I'm like a 70-year-old man. I'm like suffering, like, on the verge of having like arthritis or something.
Well, what's a young man? Come on, tell us.
A young man's 23 years old. Like,
are you 23?
Yeah.
Damn. I'm like the sugar daddy here or some shit. Damn shit. Now I'm feeling goddamn old shit. Goddamn. Oh my god. Jeez, that's depressing. I'm feeling sad now. That's
mad. Mate, age is just a number, man. Why you think you're as young as you feel? I
don't feel that young. Oh, okay. So this is your first. Well, let me tell you, right? I think your body starts wincing away. Basically, that's what happens. Like, you've gone through the growth period now. You're not gonna grow anymore once you hit 23. So your body is just basically starting to rot, mate. It's just a slow progression of it rotting away.
Oh, thanks for it. It's like there was a guy I used to work with, right? And I was like, one time I went to him, happy birthday, and he's like, I don't celebrate birthdays. I was like, why? Because each birthday is a date closer to my death. I was like, oh, right, mate, damn. I was like, okay.
Was that man a goth by any chance?
No, he was a religious man.
Really? Oh,
yeah,
damn.
Yeah. So he's like,
boy, he must have been a sinner if he's worrying. No, that's mad. So you know what? I'm actually going the opposite way. I've had like chronic back pain since before we met, basically.
When did you first have your first like? Well, was it self-induced or is it just age? You're saying, like, were you at the gym or something? Or...
Oh, okay. So I think basically it was from being overweight for many, many years, but I had never had like a proper slip disc, and I had a slip disc, and my leg has been numb for years, like maybe 3 years, and it's slowly coming back now. I've been like, I try and stretch every single day, but the main thing I bought was like I got it from the missus for Christmas, was like a ergonomic pillow, and that shit just is like pulling everything back into place. I don't even know. Like last night, I started actually getting feeling back in my leg where I hadn't felt before. I'm dying to get feeling back in my leg because I've not played football and stuff like that. But back pain, it happens. I've got another buddy who's a few years younger than me, and just for the record of the podcast, I'm 31. I'm going to be 32 next month, unfortunately, which is mad.
Unfortunately, why do you say unfortunately, mate? I feel like
Don't get me wrong. No. I mean, I know I'm going to be in the peak of my lifetime physical fitness by the time I hit 35, for sure. That's where I'm going to go. And even this, like my back coming back is good. But if it's that kind of thing, man. If I knew what I knew now, back then, I would have treated my body and my time with a lot more respect. Let's put it that way. And I think sometimes this is what young people. No one tells young people like, you need to think. You need to think what you're doing, like, and people don't think. Like,
about
people
the long-term consequences.
Long-term consequences. All the kids hitting the nightclubs, sniffing up ket and shit. Like, someone needs to tell you, oh, okay, it's fun. It can be fun and all that. I have no actual personal experience with ket. But what I'm saying is, okay, it might seem fun, but that shit does rot your brain, I'm guessing. Like any sort of.
I think anything, like whether excessive drinking, smoking, lack of sleep, all these things. 'Cause I think there was a period, like I think 3 months ago, where I was just working off 5 hours sleep, and then every 2 weeks I would just crash. Like at 2 p.m, I would just get so fatigued and tired. I didn't know where it came from, and it wasn't like a physical fatigue. It was like a mental fatigue for like sleeping such few hours, and it's like. That's not something, because I know another person who's in their 40s who says that the thing is, if you continuously take the hours away from your sleep, it raises your blood level, and because of that you're more susceptible to things like diabetes or a stroke, and it's things like that you can say in your younger age. In my 20s I take for granted, but I guess it's because I feel I have all that energy. It's right now it's all about short-term thinking, because right now is the best time to be alive. I can get anything and everything whenever I want, when I want, now. So it's like, looking at the long term, it's like,
No, but you know what? I used to be like that. Like on any given Sunday, I could stay up till 2-3 o'clock, and I wouldn't need to hit an energy drink, nothing like that. It was I was ready to do it. Now it starts getting to 11. I'm like, damn, I am tired.
But hasn't work also contributed to that?
Yeah, of course, because when you had summer holidays and you're off for 5-6 weeks,
you have all the time in the world,
and plus half terms, you have time to recover, you have time to rest, you've got energy. When you're working and you're getting 4 weeks of leave instead of the 8 or whatever you might get when you're in like normal schooling, it's exhausting. I definitely remember the first few years working full time. I was like, damn, I noticed this shit. Like, you haven't got that much time to yourself, and it's tiring. And not only that, as you go into an adult, I'm not saying people don't do chores and shit, but it's like, you got to do the washing up, you got to do the cooking, you got to do the cleaning, you got to take the trash out.
Bro, tell me about it, mate. Bro,
And actually,
honestly,
it's that kind of thing. I could probably work longer. I would work a different job or do extra hours in something else if I knew that I didn't need to change my bed sheets. I didn't need to wash my clothes. I didn't need to do my cooking. If you have all that side of your life handled, you can work an extra hour or two.
That's true.
So it's like, it's a kind of funny.
It's a balancing act almost.
But this is the thing, like, sleep when you can sleep, but at the same time, you're only young once. In fact, there's a tune. I'll link you to the tune. I'll link the tune after. It's just a hardcore tune. But it's the chorus is, you're only young once, so do it right. And
who's it by? Do you know who it's by?
Yeah, Side by Side. It's like a hardcore band. But anyway, sometimes kids don't get told this shit. Like, I know, for example, MDMA has gotten a lot popular in like the last decade or so. Like Jay-Z spitting it in lyrics, like drum and bass and house music and all this sort of rave culture has had that revival, and kids are hitting it every weekend. And your body needs to recover, like your brain needs to recover every time you hit it. So you need to leave it, you know, and it frazzles you, like if you do it too much.
Too much, of course.
Not even too much, just with too much regularity in it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But that's the same thing with anything. If you drink with too much regularity, you're gonna end up an alcoholic.
Yeah.
If you smoke
too much,
you're going to end up with lung cancer, or you're going to end up...
Yeah.
So I think everything in moderation, and I'm not saying I do everything
Even moderation in moderation.
Yeah, even moderation. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but that's... Yeah. But, so maybe you need to do, like, stretching and stuff.
Yeah, I've definitely... Because I think 2 weeks ago I bust my ankle, like, badly from playing football. And so, funny enough, I've been at home working from home for the past 2 weeks, and what I've been doing is, funny enough, I've been starting yoga. You know.
Oh,
okay. At first I was a bit skeptical because I was following like some YouTube video in which this woman's like, okay, now raise your arms into rising dog, and she's got all these funny names for these postures, right? And I'm like, yo, this shit ain't doing nothing for me, man. But what I do find the positive side of yoga is like it's time to myself, having that quietness. Because think about it, how often are you actually with your own thoughts? Other people call it meditation, some other people might call it prayer, but that actual moment where you're just with your inner thoughts, no distractions, the TV's not on, there's no music playing in the background, like you can't hear your neighbors, nothing like that, but the actual listening to yourself, I think it does have some benefits. I don't know, it's something it's just me getting used to it, you know? Getting used to being in silence.
So, I don't want to sound like a new age wacko, because I'm not that way inclined, but like, I definitely think, for example, yoga, I remember being overweight and I thought, okay, I want to drop the weight and then I want to get strong, like get a little bit, as my little brother says, wedge. I want to be a little bit wedge. But then
not
I
hench,
realised,
but
wedge.
Yeah. Well, so is that past hench?
No, I think it's just like it's not quite hench.
Oh,
but it's a little bit wedge. Hench. I think it's less than hench, isn't it? Because hench is like when you you hit it, like like kind of wedge, slightly more than a footballer, but not quite a rugby player. Let's say.
Okay, all right, okay.
Like what I'm saying is, when you see someone who's wedge, you can tell they train, but they're not necessarily hench like a WWF wrestler or something like that.
Okay, got you.
And I thought,
keeping it old school, WWF, eh?
WWF,
WWE.
Environmentalists trying to cancel the podcast and shit already. You know what I mean? Ooh, WWF, like. But
save the pandas.
No, I do save the pandas. I like the pandas, man.
Yeah, me too.
So, but what I realised is, damn, actually, if you're not flexible, you can't do certain movements properly. You know, you're tense. You can't squat if you've got no ankle mobility. It's kind of mad. So yoga does extend your life, like the quality of your life as a human being, basically. Like, because this is the other thing, like, we're not meant to live a sedentary lifestyle at all. No way. Like,
definitely.
It's just like
we were hunters before.
But this is what I'm saying. Before, you would be building house, you would be like hunting, you would be climbing trees, like all this, like just normal physical exercise would have made a normal human being like quite strong and hench and powerful anyway, like a lot more powerful than the average human being is now. You know, like in terms of level of fitness, all this kind of stuff.
Definitely.
So I thought, yeah, you know what,
But do you reckon that's the consequence of how society's changed from like manual jobs, like from, was it primary sector manufacturing to what, tertiary, where you're sat behind the cashier or you're literally sat by an office. Like, well, they aren't a lot. Like, who grows up to say, you know what, I want to work in a factory when I grow up?
No,
Or-
but I even think factories. I think it predates factories because it's like when you're in a factory, you're just doing the same thing again and again and again.
It's rather monotonous, okay.
Whereas if you're
Well,
like
so-
farming, or let's say you're just living off the land, one moment you're chopping wood, next moment you're picking fruit, then next time you're like, do you know what I mean? You're doing all kinds of physical activity. Maybe you're swimming to go for to refresh yourself after the summer heat. Like
That sounds good, man.
that's
That actually
kind of
sounds like a
like
life I'd live.
there's more going on, isn't there, in terms of like, because I just think, for example, like you've seen the things like humans can naturally train themselves to hold their breath underwater for several minutes. Anyone, think about it. So if anyone can do that, think about actually how strong and resilient the human body actually is to do all kinds of stuff. Like right now, most people can't do a pull-up, but I reckon back in like the past, nearly everyone could probably do a pull-up.
Have you heard of this guy called Wim Hof? He's a Dutch guy who freezes. They call him the Iceman. Where literally-
Yeah, I know the Wim
can-
Hof method.
Yeah, literally for controlled breathing. This guy can like jump in an ice lake and stay in there for like an hour and just be chill.
But have you not?
Like-
He's like a yoga expert as well.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but this is the thing. It's like that dude can like position. He has the balance to like be on one hand, like he holds his whole entire body up on one hand and shit like that. Like,
oh, crap.
so it's
Yeah,
kind of
wow.
like this. Is what I mean, like. I don't want to say like gymnasts. People used to be like gymnasts, but I think the physical preparedness of people in the ancient times would be closer to a gymnast than anything else. If you know what I'm saying, like not hench, but they would be kind of a little bit wedge.
Definitely. I think more in tune with their bodies. Whereas now, it's
Yeah.
like you're saying, we are more sedentary. Like when I get off from work, I sit down and watch TV. Like maybe, and especially now that gyms are closed, yeah, we can all work out from home, but really we're not that inclined. We don't have this. A lot of us don't have the space to be doing that. And it's like,
But I don't know
gosh.
when. I don't know if you. I don't know what kind of gym you went to, but the one near me is like an actual, like bodybuilding gym. Like I've seen people who are definitely like they do the competitions and all that stuff. But what I like about that gym in particular is, before I used to go to like an old, what I'd call like local commercial gym where you've got the elderly ladies. Nothing wrong with that, by the way.
but it's affordable, you're saying.
It's affordable. This one is five or more than the other one. But what it is the biggest part of this gym is the weights room, whereas in the other place it used to be almost the smallest, right?
Okay.
And I remember you'd get that atmosphere. You get that atmosphere in that area of the gym, like where there's 20 to 30 dudes. Everyone's on their own machine, whatever. But here's the thing: it's like there's no kind of ego shit going on. Of course, there'll always be inside one or two people's heads. Of course, it's just the nature. But there was this kind of vibe where everyone's breaking their balls to do their own best. And it's like when you see another man pushing themselves, you're like, yeah, let me go. Let me get there. Let me push myself as well.
The competitive edge, like kind of
Competitive, but it's like it's about pushing yourself to your limit. Because you're not, I wouldn't look at the dude benching over it like, and I've seen this. I remember I had to look. There was like two brothers, and the dude was benching like over 150 kg. I'd never seen that like in real life. I've seen it online, but I was like, holy shit, that's heavy. Like I ain't never seen that before.
Of course.
But it used to get this. I don't know how to explain it. They used to get this atmosphere where it's like everyone there is serious. Everyone there is training for something, and it kind of like it made you push yourself. It's like I think it is competitive, but it's also like it doesn't matter. It's like almost like the Olympics kind of thing, in the sense that it doesn't matter. That person's goal might be completely different to yourself, but you're seeing they're fighting for it. So it
You
makes
can take some aspiration from it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
almost inspirational in a sense. Like if he can do it, then I can. Then what am I falling back on? Let me at least try and go as far as I potentially see myself going. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Like you need, if you have someone to, I wouldn't say necessarily look up to, but if you have someone to aspire to, then shit, it
No,
makes
of
the road
course.
more
And what I
easier.
mean is, there ain't no kids fucking around. Like it was people who were serious to train, like serious training, and I've seen like one or two actual monsters in that gym. And when I say monster, I remember once there was a dude,
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
kind of. Let me tell you, there was one time there was a dude wearing a Strength Asylum gym T-shirt, which is where Eddie Hall, Britain, like the last man in Britain to win World's Strongest Man, trains. And this dude was wearing. I'm not even kidding you. This man's biceps were bigger than my thighs, mate. I'm not even joking. I was looking at this dude like, holy shit, this guy is actually a monster. Like, I'm not even kidding you. And yeah, I was even a bit scared. Like, I was like, Jesus Christ.
Imagine if
Because
you got you in a headlock.
yeah, you would die. You wouldn't even need to. You would just crush your neck like a Coke can or something. Like, what I mean is, I had never seen like someone that big in real life. And when I'm not a small bloke, and my thighs aren't small, but I'm telling you, this man's arms were like my thighs, dude. Like, it was mental. So I'm looking forward to getting back in the gym, but I'm not going to put anything. I'm not putting any weight over my damn head because I'm not risking my back once my leg comes back. Fuck that.
Of course. But have you considered yoga also? You know, because yoga's quite the opposite. It's not more weight bearing. It's more free flowing, more going with your motions. You know.
So you know what? My old job, I actually used to get free yoga classes, and I did do yoga for a little bit.
What's a little bit? What, one lesson?
Oh no, more. Maybe
Oh, I
like
swear.
7-8 lessons with an actual teacher in the room, doing classes and stuff. And I mean, for me, that just the yoga thing was a workout, frankly. Twisting you each and every way, all
That's
this
true.
kind of stuff. Like, yeah, I do. I rate yoga. Is definitely, and actually, it's kind of a lot more strength based than people might imagine. Like when people are like, "Oh, it's just for girls."
Yeah, that is the general conception.
I don't. It's just for girls. Like maybe if you're a rugby player, if you're already like fit and healthy and active, yeah, it's just for girls. But most cats sitting around playing Call of Duty wouldn't be able to do most yoga classes straight off the bat.
Definitely.
So it definitely ain't just for girls.
Of course. Another thing I want to touch on, because I sent you a video of what I found was hilarious, was Zoom calls. What do you use when you're doing video conferences? Is it Microsoft Teams or Zoom?
Yeah, it's Microsoft Teams at my work.
Okay, yeah, same. It's Microsoft Teams at my work team, but it seems to be all the drama's happening on Zoom. That's where it's at, mate. That's where it's at.
I think there's a particular reason for that, isn't it? Which is Microsoft Teams is used by organisations. That's why we use it at work. And then Zoom is kind of like organisations who aren't like set up enough to have Teams or that kind of software already built in.
So
It's got like
Zoom?
external meetings, people who are external. And because it's external, then they use Zoom. But I know you're talking about the parish council meeting, which went mental, like it went viral, innit?
Yeah, I think it's Handsworth Parish Council, which is in Cheshire. And I knew it was funny. No, we'll put a clip in the description also. But I knew how it was funny was as soon as it started, right? Like everyone's saying, "Oh, present here," and then in the background you hear somebody whispering, "Oh, fuck off." And I'm invited. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, this is gonna be good.
Yeah.
And so
No, it
what
was
did,
ruckus.
so what it is, listener, the dynamic was so there's a woman, there's the chairman of a Zoom call, and these, bear in mind, these are all older people. We're talking like in their 70s. No one looked younger than 50 in these Zoom
No,
calls.
I reckon there was one dude in his 40s. I'm
Oh
just
yeah,
saying
he was.
'cause
He
I'm
was. He was.
close.
What was
'Cause
he? The
I'm
one who was
close to
spazzing
getting
out?
there.
Was it the guy who was spazzing out?
Yeah.
There was one guy. He's like, you can't do that. You're not the chairman. And he walks out. So, all right. So, anyways, listeners, there's a chairman. He's a 7-year-old man, and then there's Jackie Weaver. So, by the looks of it, Jackie Weaver's like telling everyone that, okay, is everybody on? Make sure your mics are off and all of that. And then the chairman's like, oh, can we make sure that this is a civilized Zoom meeting? Last time I was kicked out of the meeting. And then Jackie Weaver goes, you know why you was kicked out of the meeting? And then he goes, no, you had no right to kicking me out of the meeting. So it's kicking off straight off the bat. And then chairman's getting all rowdy, and then the woman called Jackie Weaver goes that, chairman, if you keep behaving like that, I'll have to kick you out of the meet. And then he's screaming, she just kicks him out. And then the young guy that you're talking about, he starts kicking off. He's like, how dare you kick out the chairman? And then Jackie's like, we need to elect a new chairman. He's like, no, we can't elect a new chairman. We already have one. And I'm the vice chairman. And he spazzes out. And so it's just, this whole Zoom meeting just descended into chaos.
Oh my god.
And it was just so hilarious, man. And the thing is, I don't know who's recording this stuff. Honest to God, I want to know who's
No,
like,
I think they have to record
because
it. They record it because it's like a record of the meeting.
Oh, is it? Okay. Because this is not the first time that a Zoom meeting's gone mental, right? Because there was another article that I read in America in which some school teachers were bitching about the parents, and they didn't know that this Zoom call was open to the public and was live. So one teacher was saying that all the parents are just lazy, that like just literally disrespecting the parents. Until one of the parents said, "Oh, you know, this is open to the public. Anybody can join this Zoom meeting," and so the whole board of that, I think it was a high school at the time, the whole board had to resign. And I was like, wow, like people aren't really aware of what they're saying. Like in Teams meetings, that's never been the case, but I'm seeing more and more people forget who's online and who isn't.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, I just think with Zoom meetings, people don't behave, isn't it? Like, because you're not there. It's like it's the same thing that exactly happens on the internet. People just say all their dumb shit because they're not in the room or whatever. It's like half the comments people make you would never make to that person's face because you got enough. Like, you've been socialized enough not to do it.
Yeah, and if you're gonna say it, you're gonna make sure they don't hear it.
Yeah, exactly. But online, people just forget. People get caught out. But I don't know. I'm not that much of a fan of Zoom meetings, and I found it a bit weird and intrusive sometimes, especially when I'm at working, where people will just call you for a Zoom meeting out of nowhere. Whereas it's kind of different. If someone approaches you in an office, it's slightly different because when you're doing that, you can still say, "Oh, sorry, I'm a little bit busy. I'll come find you when I'm free," or whatever. But when you're on a Zoom call, the moment you accept the call, you're kind of already stuck because it's like you've stopped whatever you're doing at that moment in time or whatever.
Yeah, that's why I don't pick them up, man. Because I know it's fully like you have to commit. Once you pick up, it's like, oh damn. It's not like you can't back out. It's not like someone coming up to you say, "Oh, Brian, have you got a minute?" And you're like, "No, actually, I haven't."
No, exactly. You haven't got a minute because, like you said, you already committed to answering the call. At that point, it's like picking up the phone.
Yeah.
Like you kind of screwed yourself over, you know. But I don't know. It's not. You know, I'm not a fan. Like, and there's something more draining about it. It's different when you're in an office meeting and you're sitting around, and you know, like when people are going on, everyone else they know they're going on because everyone else is like twiddling their thumbs, yawning, like Whereas
But
when you're on
sometimes they
Zoom,
don't. Brian, sometimes they don't, bro. I've sat in 1 3 hour meeting. Oh my god, I hate. To matter of fact, I hate any kind of meeting, bro. I just hate them all, man. Because sometimes, you know what? Sometimes it's just attention to make sure to make everyone else know that I know what I'm talking about. Like liking the sound of their own voice. Like,
no, of course, but that's why the chair makes such a big difference because it's like a chair can drive the meeting. That's why you need someone to be able to call attention and be like, okay, this is the meeting, and we are here to conclude, like reach some conclusions around this, that, and this, and then they drive towards that conclusion. Do you know what I mean? But I think sometimes
that sounds like an ideal meeting. That sounds like I've never been in such a meeting, Brian. Means that every meeting that I've been in, it's just been drudgery, mate. It's just been. Oh, I could kill myself.
I've been in a few of those, but the lady who was service manager when we first met in that job, I actually forget her name, and obviously we shouldn't mention it on here anyway. But the blonde one, I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who left? I don't know if she left when you were still there or not. But
No,
anyway,
I think I left before she did.
oh, okay, yeah. She was an excellent chair meeting because she would start and she'd be like, okay, what are, like, tell me the facts, like, tell me this. And then she'll be like, okay, and like, what are the complicating factors? And then people would come in and say, oh, okay, there's a problem here, there's an issue there, and she'll be like, okay. So, right, this is my opinion, this is what we're gonna do, and that would be it. I sat in a few meetings where she earned her cash, like she earned well, but she earned her cash. To be fair, like because I sat in other meetings with other people. And let me tell you, they didn't earn their cash like she earned her cash. So
I bet. Straight to the point, concise. That's what you need.
Straight to the point, because that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes you waffle, people were waffling, but it don't add nothing.
And you know the worst meetings are ones where you don't even come to no conclusions, bro. You just
I hate those.
And there's no action decided afterwards. It's like, what the fuck did we come here for? To have a chat?
Oh, those ones are the worst. Those meetings. But I think that happens a lot more on Zoom, for sure. Like, because it's harder to drive to a conclusion on
definitely.
Zoom.
I think they should ban meetings all in general, man. I think it should just be like, alright, liaison with this person, do this, do that, sorted. We don't have to come in like in some like round table circle and discuss ideas. I'm just anti-meeting, man, because I was in 1 3 hour meeting, and that's
Now you got trauma.
Life. Yeah, I got trauma, mate.
I'm trying to think. No, I think I've been in one or like a few, 1 or 2 at least 3 hour meetings. But to be fair, they were the ones that had conclusion. So there was like a journey. There was like a journey through those meetings. Oh, but actually, because we talked about this before we recorded last week as well, and I wanted to mention, I don't know if you've seen the price of Bitcoin has dropped already from 50 to 35, and in fact, let me
I think it's going even lower now.
Let me check the price now. Okay, so now it's under 34. It's 33. So it's just dropped, and it's dropping still.
Ooh, could be. It's your time to invest soon. Could be.
You know what? I still think it's going to drop under 20 again.
You think?
Yeah. But look at this. Bitcoin price crashes 20%, but analysts predict record highs. This is on independent.
But I think it's all speculation. That's the thing about these. I'm a bit skeptical of these experts, man. Because it's all what's the driving force? What are the determining factors that make it rise up and make it fall? There's too many variables. But we'll see. We'll see anyways. Or maybe it could drop, because I feel like it does make sense, because Bitcoin is going to be around for the next couple of years. Definitely. But how high it goes or how low it drops is anybody's guess.
No, but look at this. It's crashed to under 10,000. I'm actually thinking, you know what? Let me just hold. I'll just hold until there's a fat market crash on Bitcoin, and then I'm going to put in some cash, because really, I think at the moment it's not held at over, it's not held in double-digit figures for over a year ever once. Is my
Has it not?
understanding.
Wasn't it like 18K for like 2 years ago?
But I don't know how long it stayed 18K. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So I'm just thinking, I'm just waiting for a big crash, and then I'm gonna put in my money and then leave it. Do you know what I mean? Just leave it, and that's how I'm gonna run it. But I just wanted to say, because you were saying you were quite like getting quite gassed about putting your money in already, and I'm saying just hold and wait for it to drop, because this is the
Definitely.
thing. It's like you got to sell
When it's high.
when it's high, and buy when it's low. It's just like simple. And this is the thing. It's like it's going to crash again. So another peak is going to come. But when it crashes, everyone's selling. So that's when you buy. And then there'll be another peak. And you know how it's going to be. It'll be like this. It'll crash again soon. Then it'll stay quiet. Boom, you buy your shit then. Then there'll be a peak. Then there'll be all the stories of Bitcoin. People will buy more Bitcoin. And there'll be another peak. Then you sell it. And then you just wait for the whole shit to crash again and rebuy it.
Literally,
You know.
so it's just literally a waiting game.
It's just a waiting game, but I think it's a whole. You got to learn. It's almost a bit like a poker game, innit? You need to know when to hold and when to fold. You know,
Definitely.
and the way I'm feeling is, it's like, it's literally at a record high. So, I think at the moment,
reckon it could hit a record low.
no, I don't think it will hit a record low. But I think it will drop under 10 grand eventually. I'm so sure.
Oh, whoa. Wow, you're so sure of that?
Well, I'm not sure. Okay, maybe under 10 grand's worth is a bit of an excessive estimation, but I reckon. But you know what? Hold on. We should have mentioned this right at the beginning of this chat. This is not financial advice.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, keep your lawyers away. This is February 27th, 2021. So we're talking about Bitcoin exchange prices at this point. This is not financial advice. In fact, I don't advise anyone buy Bitcoin. There you go. That's it.
Nice disclaimer.
That's my disclaimer. Don't buy Bitcoin. Done.
Sweet.
But
Oh yeah, there's one thing I did. Do you still want to say something? Because I wanted to touch upon how you missed out on Pele, bro. I'm actually so disappointed with you, man.
Oh, you know what? Well, you know why I missed out on Pele, but I do. Yeah. I am gonna sit down and watch that the Pele documentary. And do you reckon there's anyone listening who might not know who Pele is?
I hope not. But just to clarify, Pele is one of the, if not the greatest footballer to have achieved anything in football in recent memory. Over 1,000 goals, only player to win 3 World Cups, and yeah, he was literally an icon of football. He was the first superstar football ever.
And I'm trying to think if Mbappe was 17, but he wasn't, was he?
No, he was 18 or 19.
18.
Wait,
So Pele was 17 years old when he scored goals. 2 goals in the World Cup final. 17. I mean, it's beyond a dream. It's beyond imagination.
Honestly, and it's back-to-back World Cups. So what? In 1958 and then 1962. Although he did get injured in the 1962 World Cup, but it's still the fact that
he still played.
Yeah, exactly.
He was in the squad. Like,
yeah, exactly.
No, but of course Brazil had an excellent team. But no, it's kind of like, and here's the thing: I did watch maybe the first half an hour of that documentary, so I've just not watched it all. But just seeing him do stuff like Rabona, seeing some of the moves he's doing, with old boots, with a heavy ball,
definitely,
like things that you couldn't imagine. Like, he looked like a modern player in an old era. It was actually kind of weird seeing him do some of the stuff he was doing.
Definitely. Like the fake shots, the cut-ins, like flicking the ball over players' heads, like long range shots. Like it was incredible, man.
Yeah, and the guy is an absolute legend. But this is the thing I wanted to say that I didn't know you know. I have Pele's signature. Like, I have a signature of Pele.
Where? How? Where? And what? When did you get this signature?
So, well, there's kind of two stories. One time he was doing like some sort of promotional thing for MasterCard at Harold's.
Okay.
And me and my mum waited in the queue for 3 hours to try and get stuff signed by him. We didn't get anything signed in the end.
Wait, so what happened? So you were in the queue?
So basically what happened was this. They handed out a lot of bullshit like photographs of Pele that were supposedly signed by Pele. But literally what happened maybe a year or two later is one of my parents' family friends in Brazil called Aranha, which actually means spider. So that was his nickname, Spider, like a sort of Streets of Rage thug or something, nicknamed Spider. Anyway, and actually I don't actually know Spider's real name. I just know him as Spider, Uncle Spider. No, I'm not even kidding. I'm not even joking. All I know him is as like Uncle Spider. But anyway, so Uncle Spider sends this like he actually got it framed. It's painted blue on the outside. The background's yellow. Then he has like a commemorative stamp of Pele celebrating scoring a goal with the number 10 like doing the fist pump or whatever. And then it's just a piece of paper and it says to Brian from your friend Pele. Yo,
no way.
yeah. And you know what? Like the older I'm getting, the more I'm realizing how absolutely sick that is.
What? How did he get it?
So basically, this Spider dude, he used to work in kind of like it's called like SESC in Sao Paulo in Brazil. But my understanding is, I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's kind of like a kind of, I don't know if it is it's not like an art thing, it's more like a cultural thing, like Barbican Centre here in the UK.
Okay.
Something like that. Like a kind of, some sort of like cultural centre, like the Barbican Centre. Anyway, Pele was going around doing like a tour or a visit or whatever, and he's got the signature. And the funny thing is, the piece of paper, it's not like, it was obviously just by chance that he got it, because the piece of paper is just like a printed piece of paper with like a scrap piece of paper, because it's folded in half.
Yeah.
But you can see that there's a print out or some bullshit, whatever, behind it.
So it's the back of a piece of paper, basically.
Yeah. Like it's just the back of a piece of paper that he's just literally grabbed and got him to do it, and then he sent it. But when you compare that one, I think in the end, after we got that one, we threw away the one that me and my mum got, the MasterCard, because the MasterCard one was like a real shit fake. Basically, it's just someone who sat there, looked at Pele's actual signature and was like, oh, I'm going to do a Pele signature. And they just handed them out so there wouldn't be a riot in Harold's, basically.
Okay, yeah, it's definitely fake then, just for the convenience.
Oh, no, it's definitely fake. And for example, let's put it this way, this Spider Cat has never done anything else. It's because it really is like, do you know what I mean? Like he didn't just decide one day, oh, I'm just going to pretend that Pele signed this.
It was just like off the cuff. Like,
it was off the cuff,
Pele.
yeah. And you know what? It's in my dad's garage, and I was going to look this week for it just because this documentary like sparked my mind, because I was like, yo, actually, I need to have that, with me. And the other thing is, I just love the fact that it's signed to me, so it's not as valuable to anyone else but me. You know.
Definitely.
But I was like, damn, that's special. And you know what? I need to actually call this dude, because I don't think I've spoken to him since I've like been an adult, basically, and just to
Okay.
thank him
Definitely.
for that, because you know, I mean, you saw how frail and old Pele's gone. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Damn, you know. It's
So-
crazy. Like you know, and the thing is, what he quit football, what 33, and it was like that was the perfect time to get out. Like he entered the game so early and left it so early. Like he completed what he wanted to complete, and that's what I love about Pele. It's like it's the drive. Like you see it. Like the modern day version would be Cristiano Ronaldo. You see the drive in his eyes, but Pele, it was different. It was like from the family he grew up with, and to what he went on to achieve is just, you know, it's inspiring more than anything. It's just. It gives me a smile whenever I see this man, you know.
you know
like-
what surprised me as well? His warmth, even now, like kind of. There wasn't that strange ego to him. It's a bit like, I don't know. I haven't watched all the documentary, but it's
But you're
kind
right.
of
He does emanate this kind of humility, like just a sense of like all he was trying to do was do the best for him and his country, and he achieved that more than anything.
I mean, I only watched the first 30 minutes, but it's like that scene where he's meeting his buddies from Santos, and they're talking
Yeah.
about the time they went on tour, and the other dude wore his shirt, and he didn't say, "Oh, look how shit he is at football." He was just like, "Oh, they thought, oh, he's not as handsome and as good
That's
looking
right.
as Pele." I thought, "Oh, that's nice." But
Oh, also, you put me on to a song. You know them, Tim Meyer,
okay, yeah.
Kibeleza.
Oh, yeah, and it's in the-
background.
Yeah, it's in the background. Yeah.
I was like, yo, I was like, damn, Brian put me onto some good tune. Like, this is an OG tune. Listen, I suggest it, Kibeleza by Tim Meyer.
Okay, we'll link that. What's the other thing I got to link?
Oh, what was it? Oh, crap.
Oh.
The Handsmith Paris.
The parish
Zoom
council
call?
meeting. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll link that. At least I won't get our video banned momentarily like the other day
Oh, yeah.
on
You know how
YouTube.
are.
That's funny. Oh, but you can check us out on bigkiz.com.
Yeah, guys, we're getting there. We've already been official, but we're official now.
We're becoming official. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we'll know when we made it official, when we got. Do you know what I mean? I'm just seeing like Drake and Dave Chappelle coming through. Do you know what I mean? Tony Blair on the next day. Billy
Yo.
Gates day after. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yo, Elon Musk afterwards, yeah, you name it, we'll have anyone here.
like, then we'll
Massive
have a
Tony
grey,
Blair.
one of the grey aliens or whatever.
We'll have Cat Stevens also.
I'm sure that ain't his name anymore.
What is it, like Yusuf Islam, I think?
Yeah. It
Yeah.
is Yusuf Islam. Yeah.
Yeah, but you never know. It's good to have a shout out. You know, maybe because I've been. You know, I think we should bring people from the '80s on. You know, give them like a revitalized outlook on how they see the world. You know, I
And
wonder
who-
what Phil Collins is doing right now.
Phil Collins, probably eating a Cadbury's bar, like probably living off like the singles push that Gorilla advert gave him. Still,
True.
like, I don't know. You know what? In fact, who would I bring back from the 80s, or who would I interview from the 80s? Who was a big star in the 80s? I'm trying to even think. 'Cause
No,
wasn't
I said-
around.
I say Cat Stevens, Phil Collins. Lionel Richie. I would have him on.
Okay, but they're all still quite famous.
Oh, so what kind of we thinking?
Someone
Like,
who was big in the 80s but not famous anymore.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
But I guess we wouldn't even know who they are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing.
Um,
What those? Oh, was it Earth, Fire, and Wind? You know who sung
Oh,
September,
yeah,
Boogie
September.
Wonderland?
yeah,
Yeah,
they got some tunes,
they got
like,
some heavy tunes.
but that
bro.
September tune is hard. Yeah.
Oh, it's too hot. Actually, is it September or Wonderland? I realized it. If anyone's watched anime called Dragon Ball Z, and you know the attire that Vegeta wears, like the battle armor,
Oh, okay, yeah.
they got it from Boogie Wonderland. I promise, because I looked into it. Boogie Wonderland came out in 1985 or something, and then Dragon Ball Z Vegeta came out in 1989.
Hold on, but I swear it's like some sort of Aladdin outfit anyway.
Oh no, I need to. I promise you, Boogie Wonderland. It's like, think of Vegeta's attire, you know, with the armor, with the pointy corners on the shoulders. That stuff was in Boogie Wonderland.
No, but I'm sure that's like ancient Arabian Aladdin style stuff before Boogie Wonderland.
You feel? Oh, I
But
don't know.
research it and you can bring it up next week.
Definitely, yeah. I'll re-look into this.
But
yeah.
Are we wrapping up? Let's wrap up.
Yeah. Right, so what? This has been the Big KIZ podcast. You can catch us on
BigKiz.com.
bigkiz.com. Definitely. Check us out there.
We got a .com. We're not selling anything yet. But,
Yeah.
put the money aside to
Yeah,
buy
mate,
it when we do.
Would we sell shares at some point, do you reckon?
I don't know.
Oh, it's only
might
a two-man.
sell a raffle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we could do a raffle, yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
shares
even
would
know
work.
what for. A raffle to be a guest. We'd probably have to pay them to spend the hour now at the moment. But, persistence is key. It's early days.
Definitely.
But it's been grand as ever. And listeners, if you've got a question, always stick it in the comments. We haven't got an email, have we? But actually, if you go on the .com, you can record us a voice message.
Definitely, yeah.
So, send that our way if you want us to talk or touch on a particular subject.
We'll give you a shout out. Definitely, the more the merrier. We'd love people to get engaged with us. And yeah.
But not in a marriage sense.
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, depending.
I mean, if it financially benefits me, I might consider. But
you might get an old foxy lady come through for you then. All right, no, it's been the Big KIZ.
Yeah.
Peace.